Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing amazing today. In this video, we're diving into the latest updates about Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos. You don't want to miss this. So make sure to stay tuned till the end, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. No one expected the bright Tuesday morning at the Live with Kelly and Mark studio to end in an emotional storm that would grip millions around the world. The day began with its usual sparkle, stage lights warming the air, producers rushing with clipboards, the audience buzzing with anticipation. But behind the cheerful set, a quiet heaviness lingered, one that Kelly Ripa had been fighting to hide for days. Kelly stepped onto the stage with her signature smile, but those who knew her best could sense something off. Her eyes, usually alight with humor, held a shadow of worry, and when Mark Consuelos entered moments later, the audience immediately noticed his subdued demeanor. He wasn't his energetic, playful self. His smile was gentle but strained, the kind that carried more weight than warmth. The cameras rolled, the applause thundered, yet beneath the surface, a life-altering moment was waiting to unravel. A cracking smile behind the spotlight, Kelly and Mark had built a reputation for being one of television's most adored couples, laughing, teasing, and supporting one another on air in ways that felt genuine and heartfelt. Their chemistry was a major reason the show had flourished. But that morning, the usual sparkle was dimmed. Halfway through the opening segment, Mark reached for his mug of tea, his hand shaking ever so slightly. Kelly noticed instantly. Her face froze for a fraction of a second, and when she looked at him, her eyes were filled with the unspoken fear only someone deeply in love could understand. "Are you okay?" she whispered, off camera but caught by a nearby mic. Mark managed a soft nod. "Just tired." But Kelly knew it was more. And so did he. They continued, the show moving forward with celebrity guests, humorous anecdotes, and the usual banter, yet both hosts performed like actors on a stage, masking emotions threatening to break free at any moment. A confession that shattered the silence. When the final segment arrived, Mark cleared his throat. His normally confident voice was unsure, fragile. The studio audience grew still. I have something I need to share," he said, clasping his hands together. "And I know this isn't how I usually speak or what we normally do, but I can't keep pretending everything is fine." Kelly turned her body toward him, bracing for what she feared was coming. Mark inhaled, his eyes glistening. "These past few months, I've been struggling, quietly, privately, and I thought I could push through it, like I always do, but I can't keep carrying this alone." The room fell silent, producers froze, the audience held its breath. Kelly's voice trembled. "Mark, what are you saying?" Mark swallowed hard. "I need to step away. For my health, for my mind, for us. I need time away from the spotlight, away from performing strength I don't always have." The words echoed like a thunderclap. Kelly's hand flew to her mouth in shock. Tears instantly pooled in her eyes, not out of anger or disappointment, but heartbreak, empathy, and love. "You don't have to face anything alone," she whispered. "We face it together." Mark shook his head softly. "I know, and you've been my rock. But part of loving you means not letting you break under my weight." Those words shattered her. Tears streamed freely, live on air, unfiltered and raw. A farewell that felt like goodbye. The audience rose for a standing ovation, not out of celebration, but solidarity. Some wiped their own tears. Others reached for the hand of the person beside them. Kelly took Mark's hand. "If you're stepping away, then so am I." Mark's eyes widened. "Kelly, no, this show needs you. People need your light." She shook her head. "My light is with you. If you take a break, I take it with you. We heal together." For the first time that morning, a genuine smile touched Mark's lips. A relieved, grateful smile. The show was no longer about entertainment, it was about humanity. Kelly turned to the camera, voice fragile but steady. "To our viewers, this isn't goodbye forever, it's just a pause. A moment to breathe, to be human, to remember that life happens beyond these cameras." Mark joined her. "Thank you for your love, your support, your laughter over the years. We hope we've given you joy, comfort, and a reason to smile every morning. And we will be back, stronger, healthier, together." They stood, hand in hand, as the audience applauded. Tears glistened across the room. It felt like history in the making, a moment raw enough to remind the world that even those who bring joy to millions can struggle silently. A world respond. Within hours, clips of the emotional broadcast went viral. Social media overflowed with messages of love, encouragement, and heartfelt support. Take all the time you need. Health first. We'll be here when you return. This moment showed what true love looks like. Fans around the world shared their own struggles, inspired by Mark's honesty. The couple had unintentionally opened a window for millions to admit their own battles. News outlets reported it with heavy hearts, but with respect. Not scandal, just compassion. For the first time, the world saw Kelly and Mark not as TV personalities, but as two humans navigating life's most vulnerable crossroads. Holding on to hope. That evening, in the quiet of their home, Kelly curled beside Mark on the couch. No cameras, no audience, just two souls who had weathered storms before, now facing a new one with courage. "I'm scared," she confessed. "So am I," Mark admitted, squeezing her hand. "But I'm also relieved, because today, we stopped pretending." Kelly exhaled, resting her head on his shoulder. "We'll get through this, and when we come back, it'll be a new chapter." Mark smiled softly. The best chapters always start after the hardest ones. As the city lights flickered outside their window, the couple held each other, not as co-hosts, not as public figures, but as two hearts choosing love over pressure, healing over hiding. And somewhere in the silence, strength quietly began to grow. That night, after the broadcast that shook viewers worldwide, the Ripa Consuelos home was unusually quiet. The laughter that normally filled their living room had been replaced with soft breathing, thoughtful silence, and the gentle hum of the city outside. Kelly rested her head on Mark's shoulder, listening to the steady beat of his heart. She could feel the exhaustion beneath it, not just physical fatigue, but the kind that settles in the soul when someone has carried too much for too long. "I didn't realize how heavy everything had become," Mark said softly, his voice barely above a whisper. "I kept thinking if I just pushed a little harder, I'd get through it, but it was like trying to outrun a shadow." Kelly closed her eyes. "You don't have to run anymore, not from me. Not from the world." He gently kissed the top of her head, grateful for her warmth. A family meeting. The next morning, they gathered their children, Michael, Lola, and Joaquin, around the kitchen table. Usually, family meetings were chaotic, filled with jokes and interruptions. But today, they sat quietly, sensing the weight of what was coming. Mark took a breath. "Kids, there's something you should know. I'm stepping back from the show for a while. I haven't been okay, and I need time to take care of myself." Michael leaned forward, concern softening his face. "Dad, why didn't you tell us sooner?" "I didn't want to worry anyone," Mark admitted. "I thought I could handle it." Lola shook her head gently. "You wouldn't tell us not to burden ourselves, so don't do that to yourself either." Kelly smiled faintly through glassy eyes. Their children, now grown, were speaking with a maturity that made her heart swell. Joaquin reached across the table and placed his hand on his father's. "We're with you, whatever you need." Tears brimmed in Mark's eyes, the support wrapping around him like a protective shield he had long been missing. For the first time in months, he didn't feel alone. Stay tuned for all the updates about Kelly Ripa. We are the first to publish all the information about Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos, so stay with us to get all the latest updates. And stay tuned to our USA Daily Drop for all updates.